Fallout, an especially great live-action series based on a video game franchise, is coming back to Prime Video, but you may have forgotten the first season since it came out in spring 2024. Normally, it would take you 7 hours and 59 minutes, and that's without commercials, to do this on your own, but worry not, dear Wastelanders, you have a new companion who's already done the legwork for you. Remember, when things look glum, Fallout Season 1.
When things look glum, vote for somebody from Vault-31.
Or that. Let's catch you up on all the important things from Fallout Season 1 that you need to know before you start Season 2. We begin at the end. Well, the end of the hunky-dory, plastic-fantastic, gosh-darn world of Los Angeles 2077, that is. There are just so many recognizable Fallout game nods,
ready to be of service, madam.
Easter eggs, color palettes, and music cues right off the bat in this alternate, hyper-stylized, retro-future America synonymous with the game franchise. The world's culture is that of the lightly sinister, surface-level charm of the 1950s and 1960s, held in tandem with military technology advanced well into the future. And of course, society is dominated by mega corporations because this world is pretty rotten under its glossy surface, as we'll soon see further. Cooper Howard is a sort of washed-up actor, mostly known for his Western movies in this post-war, pre-Big Bombs era.
Please, sir.
He has a happy family with his daughter Janie and his wife Barb, who happens to work for Vault-Tec, a private company with a lot of shady power. But Barb herself is a good person trying to do her best for her family as the world teeters on a horrible, devastating war. In fact, she was key to making Cooper the pitchman for Vault-Tec, complete with his famous vault suit and thumbs-up pose. He helped sell the idea of people buying homes in the vaults which promised safety and capitalistic values. And, well, this ends up being kind of true, depending on your own definitions. We'll learn more about the Howards later, since the rest of their story is kind of a big deal. Like a bombshell. Oh no! Coop barely escapes the fallout after the bombs are dropped during the war.
And war, well, war never changes.
219 years later, everything is different. In 2296, humans live in highly secure underground vaults as the descendants of primarily wealthy people from 2077 who chose to buy into the vault idea. Vault-Tec taught the vault dwellers that their goal is to survive, prosper, and eventually recolonize the surface to save America. If you think that sounds naive and like it's just a story the vault dwellers tell themselves, you are right. Lucy McLean is a highly productive, peppy, model vault citizen who's been approved for arranged marriage by the micro-government of Vault-33. In accordance with Vault-33 tradition, she will marry and reproduce with a vault dweller from the neighboring Vault-32, which is also connected yet locked away from Vault-33 and the mysterious Vault-31. This little system of marrying between the closely tied yet separate communities has kept the three vaults sustained for all this time, hidden from the lawless, radiated maniacs who litter the surface world. Or so they thought. Vault-32 was breached, killed off, and replaced by surface raiders, who then laid siege on Lucy's community.
Sir, please don't make me use force.
Lucy helps the survivors fight the Horde and kills off her fake husband with the help of her beloved dad, Vault Overseer Hank McLean. As Overseer, he chooses to save Lucy from the raiders and is taken somewhere on the surface by the evil raider leader, who he seems to know. She remarks,
You look like your mother.
Before escaping with a huge explosion. Lucy is determined to find her father and finally starts to break away from her literally sheltered existence to venture to the surface, despite many objections.
Stop! Lucy!
The surface world is indeed very different after centuries, with signs of desolation, death, and the decay of the idealistic retro-future times. Lucy runs into a scientist and his dog friend twice, the second time being in the lawless post-war settlement of Philly, which is not short for Philadelphia, but landfill, somewhere in Southern California, nearish to where Santa Monica is for us. Elsewhere in the world, the Brotherhood of Steel, which seems somewhat less outwardly evil than in the games, is a militaristic surface dweller organization that has its own internal structure of knights, squires, and power armor. Aspirin Maximus is a low-level member who finds himself in control of one of these incredibly powerful, cool suits after his knight dies when someone refuses to heal him.
This is all your fault.
Well, the knight, like almost everyone in the Brotherhood, was a jerk anyway.
If it smokes a great big cigar.
He goes off to patrol on his own, knowing that if he achieves his knight's mission of capturing the scientist he was after, he'll be forgiven for going rogue. Maximus takes on the identity of his former knight, Titus, and takes on a new squire, Thaddeus, who was his former bully, though Thaddeus doesn't know his real identity.
I do not know what I've done to offend, but I beg for mercy!
And since I haven't talked about him for a while, Cooper Howard survived the war and the hundreds of years that followed. He's just out here doing his thing, not as a famous actor, but as an infamous gunslinger cowboy/ghoul, which is this world's version of a functionally immortal, sentient radiation mutant resembling a zombie who does a lot of drugs, which is this world's version of that precise thing too, I guess. He mainly goes by the Ghoul now, long separated from the life of Cooper Howard. All three main characters stand off in Philly over who will take custody of a scientist who apparently has a huge bounty on his head. The scientist, Dr. Siggy Wilzig, is a defector from a mysterious antagonistic force not tied to Vault-Tec, known as the Enclave, where he worked on and then stole a covert technology that could have a huge effect on the world moving forward. Dr. Wilzig is trying to reach Moldaver, a notorious and revered surface warlord who also happens to be the bandit leader who attacked Vault 33. Lucy is the only one who doesn't care about the bounty as much as doing the right thing, and the Ghoul and Maximus definitely want the scientist for their own ends. Lucy breaks away from the fight and agrees to escort the scientist to Moldaver, as it's her best chance of tailing her lost dad. However, Dr. Wilzig dies, and she settles on taking his head to Moldaver, which I promise was his idea and not hers.
You can bring me to Moldaver. Just my head.
Once again, the group meets up, sort of, when they all pursue the head after Lucy accidentally loses it in an encounter with an abomination. Maximus and Thaddeus recover the head from it, and the Ghoul takes Lucy captive after failing to do the same.
Where you going? You ain't going nowhere.
The Ghoul attempts to teach Lucy about the New World via a feral ghoul execution, poisoned drinking water, and selling Lucy to an organ harvesting operation that employs a very charming reprogrammed Mr. Handy unit.
Pardon the interruption. Our latest arrival has arrived.
She wipes out the operation and proves that even though she's a little wiser and weary of the surface world, she still has a good heart.
You can walk out of here.
Not just me. Them too.
Meanwhile, Lucy's brother Norm, still in Vault 33 but without his immediate family, learns the secrets of Vault-Tec as best he can. He and his cousin Chet discover that Vault 32 was apparently wiped out years prior in an internal struggle. He also sees that every single Vault 33 overseer has been a transfer from Vault 31, which remains a mystery. One day after his discovery, Norm sees that, weirdly, Vault 32 is cleaned up with no signs of carnage after the new Vault 33 overseer, Betty, declares that half the Vault 33 dwellers will move there and repopulate. Norm, who has never been a conformist like most of the Vault dwellers, decides to push forward on the mysteries.
Don't leave me here! Stick your head's mine now!
Squire Thaddeus steals the scientist's head from Maximus after learning his true identity, leaving him stranded in a powerless power suit until he's saved by Lucy, who he then saves from radiation poisoning. They team up to get the head back. We learn Maximus is an orphaned survivor of a massive bombing of Shady Sands 13 years earlier and has clung to the Brotherhood as his only option ever since. We also learn he has a pretty bad gunshot wound. Lucy finds a terrible-looking hospital and goes in to find treatment, and it turns out it's a vault, Vault 4.
You're in the best place in the world.
But really, it's where Lucy discovers the vaults weren't havens or utopias, but petri dishes for human experimentation with the strings pulled, of course, by Vault-Tec. Moldaver in 2077 is shown to have 1. Been alive, and 2. Led a resistance group against the false, shiny promises put out by Vault-Tec in support of the unending military-industrial complex, even enlisting Cooper Howard to discover the hidden truth.
America has been locked in a resource war for over a decade. Vault-Tec bought the means to end that war, the same war you fought in.
Thaddeus accidentally becomes a ghoul, or maybe a super mutant, just definitely not human anymore, and passes the head back to Maximus, who passes it to Lucy, while he takes a decoy severed head back, because those are plentiful. Maximus heads back to the Brotherhood to assuage them and clear his name for essentially killing Knight Titus earlier, and Lucy carries forward to find her dad via Moldaver in the former Griffith Park Observatory, now the stronghold for Moldaver's forces, the new California Republic. Norm's hacking and sneaking skills lead him to finally discovering the Vault's secret. Vault 31 holds the cryogenically frozen bodies of Vault-Tec employees who completely oversee Vault 32 and 33, effectively managing and controlling them the way the corporation dictated. In fact, every vault is an experimentation ground for the 2077-era corporations to run as they saw fit, essentially letting the wealthy elites dictate their own ideas on how to save humanity. These methods included options like separate children and parents, overcrowd on purpose, secret, deadly, and disfiguring experimentations on the disenfranchised, drugging people, just any psychotic thing a corporation could think of doing, but with the Vault Dwellers as guinea pigs and zero oversight.
What about using a Vault to develop a super mutant soldier, using illegal immigrants?
This is like if I was speed playing centuries of time in The Sims, but with a blissfully ignorant human breeding pool instead of Sims. It's inhumane and cruel, much like how I play The Sims. Worst of all, it's revealed that Cooper's wife, Barb, was not just a well-meaning bystander in Vault-Tec, but maybe one of its most evil members. She introduced the idea of unbridled corpo-human experimentation, yes, but also made sure the corporations that bought into this would definitely see a return on investment by having Vault-Tec drop the world-ending bombs themselves.
Because when we are the only ones left, there will be no one to fight.
Selling humanity out to the whims of mega corporations. These facts are discovered by a horrified eavesdropping Coop.
How can you guarantee results?
By dropping the bomb ourselves.
We also learned that Hank McClane was a junior employee of Vault-Tec, frozen in 2077 and facilitating corporate edicts in the modern storyline. He's not the good guy Lucy thought he was at all, and was on board for all of the evil corporate machinations. In fact, Hank is the reason why Shady Sands was bombed, after his wife and Lucy's mother, Rose, left him after discovering his deceit. Rose left her naive vault life for the prosperous surface city until Hank came after her, took the children back, and orchestrated a bombing that leveled the city and killed almost everyone. Moldaver, who had been the ostensible antagonist, reveals it all, exposing Hank and Vault-Tec for what they were and are. Moldaver in 2077 was a doctor of nuclear fusion who devoted her life to creating cold fusion, which is the elusive reaction that could ensure power for all without relying on dwindled fossil fuels. Now in 2296, Moldaver wishes to enact this altruistic goal with the help of the catalyst, which was physically in Dr. Wilzig's severed head this entire time. She asks Lucy's help in getting a Vault-Tec code from Hank to finally enact cold fusion. Lucy sides with Moldaver after realizing a barely sentient ghoul with her is all that's left of her mother Rose, and Hank gives up the code. Meanwhile, the Brotherhood of Steel storms the NCR stronghold at the observatory. Maximus shows up, frees Hank, but is then clocked out cold when Hank gets a hold of a power suit. Lucy is at an impasse between the man she knew as her father and the corporate bootlicker who killed everyone in Shady Sands. She doesn't get the chance to decide, though, when the ghoul, who Hank used to idolize when he was movie star Cooper Howard, shows up. Hank is one of the few people who might know where Coop's wife and child might be if they're still around, and his only goal in living this long has been to find them. Hank flees in the power suit. The ghoul tells Lucy he knows everything about how her predetermined vault life came to be, and that she can come with him to track her dad and find answers.
But you let him go.
Well, it's easier to track a stuck pig than to ask it where it's off to.
She puts down the feral ghoul that was her mother and takes off, leaving a prone Maximus behind to be collected by the Brotherhood, but promising to both of them that she'll find him again. By the way, a lot of NCR and Brotherhood fighting has been going down in the background of this emotional moment the entire time. Speaking of, Moldaver, with her last ounce of power after the battle, enacts cold fusion and dies, holding Rose's corpse's hand.
We did it, Rose.
The Brotherhood credits Maximus with killing her, and he's lifted up by them to probably a new senior position. With the ghoul and Lucy in pursuit, Hank makes his way across the Mojave to no other place than fabulous New Vegas and Fallout Season 2. And that's everything you need to know of Fallout Season 1. All the main characters who aren't trapped in a vault or dead look to be heading to New Vegas, which is, in my opinion, the richest and most interesting setting in all of Fallout media. I can't talk about further spoilers, characters, locales, or any of the other references I'm actually dying to talk to you about in Season 2. That, partner, you'll have to uncover for yourself. Thanks for watching. I'm Kim Horcher, and for more on Fallout Season 2 and beyond, keep it locked on IGN.